All right, YouTube, it's me, David Harry, your favorite YouTuber and vlogger. Right, what it is, I've got like a ton of microphones that I haven't done anything with, and I bought most of them about a year ago. I've mentioned this at some point last year, saying, oh, I've got a load of microphones, I'm going to do videos about them. Anyway, I've got to start doing videos about them because I'm having a massive clear out soon. So I need to catch up on some of the stuff that I haven't done yet and then get shut of it all. But in there is going to be the Behringer Ultravoice XM8500, which is a microphone that I first started using about 5 or 6 years ago, and it is a fantastic microphone for its price. But the thing is, I actually got this as part of a set. In fact, give me a moment. Right, hopefully you can see this box properly here. It's not the best shot in the world, but hopefully we can get a bit of an idea about what's going on here. So this is this kit, which is the Podcast Studio 2 USB. Now this has got the mic in it, a mic clip, a little kind of desk stand for it, a pair of dodgy, crappy headphones, and they are crap, and also this little tiny USB mixing console, couple of cables, and the power supply and stuff. But that's what I'm actually going to be doing the video about. But I just thought for now I will do a comparison as a quick thing with the SM7B and also the Behringer microphone. Okay, so at some point I will definitely get round to doing a proper review of that setup, although I have tested it before and it is actually brilliant for what it is. It is like beyond like, you know, like a starter setup. It's actually a really good setup as long as you position the microphone correctly. Now just a quick thing here about the way that the 7B setup, it's plugged into a FET head, and then that FET head is plugged into the XLR unit on my camcorder, and obviously the XLR unit on the camcorder is powering the FET head through phantom power. So the FET head's pre-gaining, and then the final kind of like level is going off the preamplifier for the camcorder. So what I'm going to do now is swap over to the Behringer. Now, unfortunately, I can't use the exact same setup because I just can't be bothered unscrewing all this stuff here. So I'm going to boom this in off a very inappropriate setup for it and then use a separate cable. But I will be going into the FET head and like preamping in the exact same way, going straight into the camera. So let's see how this sounds, and I want to switch over to this. Okay, so I've now switched over onto the Behringer here, and although this particular microphone comparison is completely unfair right from the get-go, and the reason why is because depending upon where and when you buy this microphone, here in the UK it typically costs between 20 to 25 pounds. Sometimes you can get it for less. At one point these were 13 pounds on Amazon, which was absolutely mental. So we're comparing the microphone here to something which costs, what's the 7B, about £350 at the moment here in the UK. So the price difference here is in the order and magnitude of about 15 times the cost. So the 7B is around 15 times the cost of this microphone, maybe even more than that, depending upon when you get this and where you get it from and the price you get it for. Now, if that isn't unfair enough, I obviously have not got this all kind of like wired up like in the best way possible. I've got like, you know, just a quick cable thrown in from the top here, and it's also just hanging off like my boom system that I use like for my usual overhead microphone. But nonetheless, it was just a way of like me getting it up straight away. The other thing as well, I'm being really careful not to go straight into the mic because I'm not using a pop filter on it. So that's also unfair because the 7B setup is kind of a bit more optimized and stuff, and it does have a pop filter on it and things like that. Anyways, like I say, this is just going to be something really quick for me to get a quick gauge of things before I end up doing the video about the pack that this comes in. And the pack itself is ridiculous. I think they're about £70 or £80 for, like, you know, the little mixer preamp thing, which is also a USB audio interface. And you get a pair of headphones, but they are garbage. But you also get like a power supply and, like, you know, cabling and stuff, and like XLR cable and things like that. So this thing in the package is actually amazing value for money. However, when I bought that package, I picked it up for £38. So the whole thing's just mental. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this quick test and this quick comparison, or this preliminary test. So let me know in the comment section below what you've thought of this. is this microphone that far behind the 7B? And even if it is, you know, could you justify paying the price of a 7B against this microphone? Or is this something where some people out there are going to go, is there really that much difference or anything like that? In fact, actually, before I get off, let me just do a quick thing. Here's a silence test between the two microphones. And what I'm going to do here is just leave the levels as they were in the timeline for this final mix that's gone out to YouTube. So no extra gaining or anything for this test, but just a bit of a silence thing between the two microphones here. Okay, so let me know as well what you thought of the difference with like the noise levels during the silence test there. And when I do get round to doing this mic proper with that setup, I'll have it like more optimized as far as its kind of like setup is concerned and stuff like that. And depending upon how this has been here, because I don't know whether it's been popping or anything, but if it hasn't been popping, then I'll just leave it as is, but better set up. But if it has been popping, then obviously I'll put like a foam filter on it and stuff like that. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you've thought of this and how the two microphones compare to one another. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.